So we get to our Denver hotel, and we're all kind of exhausted from the trip, and my thought was, let's all take a minute and just kind of like do whatever we need to do to get settled, and then let's regroup down at the bar and grab a beer and just figure out what we're gonna do going forward. And so we were sitting down at the bar, just kind of trying to level with ourselves and be like, look, you know, even if certain places are willing to let us play, is that really a good decision? And at that point, we kind of had two choices. We could either drive straight back to LA, which would have been a miserable, like, probably around 20 plus hours of a drive, or we could basically follow our entire tour route with all of our non-refundable Airbnb and hotel reservations and just try to gather as much content as we possibly could. The Las Cruces venue also is a kind of like live streaming venue, so they were going to do like a pre-taped live stream prior to the show anyway, so even if the show didn't happen, we were going to reach out to them to maybe still do the live stream, which they very kindly accommodated eventually. Mm-hmm. And our Albuquerque stay was 3 nights in an Airbnb, and meanwhile, I guess I should add that like we were staying in touch with folks from Southern California, and there were no COVID tests available at that point. And all of us had been shaking hands, giving hugs, singing karaoke on the same mic, and we all have families, girlfriends, wives, kids. Like, we all have a situation that we're going back to, right? And a situation that we don't want to bring a communicable disease back to, certainly. So we decided to use Albuquerque to A, get COVID tests, and B, shoot a music video for each of our projects. So Art and I helped Quitting Whitney out on theirs, and they helped us out on ours. And we kind of worked on treatments while we were in the van, and we went to the most picked over grocery store I've ever seen in my life, and we got groceries, and we made a big frickin' feast, and we went and hung out at the local... You
guys killed it at dinner. You and Ryan, amazing.
It was
2 nights or
so
3
fun.
nights in a row?
I think we did 2 nights.
2 nights, right?
And then we found like an outdoor brew pub for the other one.
Yeah.
We spent time in the park tossing around a football.
Yeah, that felt good actually.
We got to know each other really well. I mean, like, Matt and Ryan, like, going out on the road with them was pretty much the first time we'd ever spent significant time with those guys, but to this day, I think that if we were out with anybody else, it would have been, like...
Absolutely. Much harder.
Would have been a disaster, you know?
Totally.
So that was how Love in October, the video, came to be, and, man, like, looking back at the video, I just... am feeling like the stress of that trip, but also like the beauty. Like we saw some great sunsets and sunrises, and like we were hanging out just trying to make the best of a situation, and everybody was like up to doing that, which is pretty amazing. And just, you know,
I think Albuquerque in general, us being there till this day, it stuck with me. I was telling Will this, every time I listen to the song Love in October, and whether it's a sunset or a sunrise, it takes me back to that house we were in. That whole situation of, you know, being in the house and finding a grocery store and going to the park and shooting the video. Back to all that stuff.
Learning how to play the song, actually. Like, we had never played it live before. It wasn't even done yet. I had to text Danny, our co-producer, and be like, hey, can you send me the latest print, because it wasn't even done and we needed something to record to. And
I remember you had to run to the store last minute, you know, get some props and print out some
personal stuff, personal Easter eggs to put in there. For sure. So that was scary, by the way. There were people in full-on like hazmat gear inside the FedEx office.
That's how I
went to.
felt when we went to go get tested.
Yeah.
For the COVID test. I mean, we could talk about that a little bit too.